were joking around on the phone. They came to my front door 30 minutes later with a transcript of our conversation and outlined were the questionable phrases that I had spoken. Now, this is amazing to me, considering the closest FBI building down here is on Charleston and
Maryland
3rd or Charleston and Maryland Parkway. But, I mean, that's an amazing feat. It almost makes me think they had a little mobile setup somewhere.
Well, it is. You're a computer guy, and I've heard, maybe you could confirm this for me, that the NSC has the ability to have supercomputers which virtually are monitoring perhaps even millions of conversations, looking not at the entire conversation, but listening
exactly.
for key words.
Well, that's how they caught that drug kingpin down in, where was it, Panama or Mexico?
That's right, and
yeah,
that was cellular.
They scanned every single phone line and just picked out certain words and grabbed them.
So I encourage my audience to constantly, in the middle of a conversation, just simply say, kilo, kilo.
Art, actually, we say assassination, president, things like that.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, anyway, so onward to Area S4. I guess is it a paved road or a bumpy little ride?
That's quite a bumpy little ride. It's a dirt road down there, follows along the base of the mountain, and coming up to the facility, it's right off of Papoose Dry Lake Bed.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a small mountain range on the side, and built right into the side of the mountain is the installation itself, the S4 installation, and it's composed of hangar doors around one side, and then I believe on the on the south-facing side, there's is the main entrance into the facility.
Were the windows on the bus darkened, or could you see out as you went?
No, you could. The only place you could see out was the front. On the bus, most of the times I had gone down there was the driver, a security guard, and Dennis Mariani. The security guard almost always stood right up front, not sitting down, but holding that bar, which is right by the door on those buses.
Sure.
I don't know if it was in an effort to block my view out there or just to intimidate me and stare at me. But that's how he rode the entire trip down there. So it was always difficult to see exactly where we were and
what was in between.
Right. Well, there's really nothing in between. It's pretty much desert.
Dennis Mariani, who was he?
He was my supervisor. What his exact position was pretty much unclear to me. He's a stocky guy, smokes a cigar, kind of looked very military-looking, short blonde hair. It's about the best I could describe him. Maybe, late 30s, early 40s.
Not gregarious, more security-like?
Yes. So I really don't know what his exact function was in the world.
He didn't wear a military uniform, though, did he, Bob?
No, he didn't.
Clothes.
Right, civilian.
But you can kind of tell military guys.
Yeah, just by the way they look.
And the way they comport themselves and so forth and so on.
But, again, this is my guesstimation of what this guy was about.
Was he your constant shadow? Was he with you all the time?
For the most part, until I learned how things operated there. I guess I shouldn't jump ahead that far yet. Well, I might as well. For the most part, for science to progress anywhere, if you're doing any sort of research whatsoever, one of the things that is vital is free discussion, open and free discussion amongst the people that are working on the project.
Okay, right.
Well, obviously, it's how ideas are bounced off other people, and
that was
the only way things can progress.
Wasn't that one of the main contentious points during the development of the atomic bomb in the Manhattan Project? Everything was compartmentalized, and
the military just loves to do that.
And the scientists just hate it because they want to bounce ideas off each other.
Exactly.
So you're saying, really, in 1989, that was still going on.
Well, probably. Well, I don't know. How would I know how bad it was during the atomic age? But it was very oppressive. So much so that our job was very compartmentalized. Every aspect was split into groups of people. Groups of people are quite literally two people. You work on the buddy system. In other words, the only person I can talk to, the only person I can discuss anything with, the only person I can relate to is the one person who I work with. Any other aspect of the project, any other questions are simply not to be asked. So immediately you're interfering with your progress in that if whatever you're doing interacts with anything else anywhere, you've run into a block wall.
You don't even really know if you're the first person to come down and be assigned this task, do you?
Exactly.
There
in fact,
could have
I
been
was
others
told that I wasn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But, you really have no idea what's going on. And I'm sure if you found that, Part A connects to Part B, which we're not allowed to see, I'm sure there would be some way to gain some of that information, but...
Bob, not only were you not the first person assigned that task, but this might be an interesting point to tell them why you were told you were hired.
No, that's true. I was... actually, one of the questions I've always had is, why did they hire me? Certainly for this project, I would not be the most intelligent, the most resourceful person that they could possibly hire out of all the people at Los Alamos or anywhere else in the world for that matter. So I've always wondered exactly why they would have picked me.
And so why then did they?
I still don't know. I've always wondered this. I've ran a lot of things through my mind, different possible scenarios, and they really, none of them make any sense. Was it because Edward Teller just thought I was a nice guy and essentially juiced me into the position?
It sounds,
that makes...
Yeah, it sounds that way.
Yeah, but, in a project like this, why would something like that happen where every person counts? You're talking in a project where there are only actually 22 active people working on it.
Yeah, but when Teller speaks, the military listens.
Yeah, that's true. But, I didn't know him well enough. As far as my scientific background, it was actually fairly limited. I was working at Los Alamos on the... working with the accelerator at that point, so it really wasn't a propulsion-based job, anything to do with, what I was about to have my hands on.
Maybe they assumed you did have the right background. Maybe they didn't really know what they had on their hands. Well,
one of the...
I tell you, we're coming up on a break, and we'll pick up on this point when we get back. Everybody relax. It'll be a good one. Bob Lazar and Gene Huff are my guests. Belt in. It's going to be a good one.